Hi, vlog. Recent vlog.
Hello. It has been a while. I think I told you last time that I was planning, or I was going overseas, over the Philippines in November, and that is what happened. I was in there for most of November and into the early part of December. And then when I got back, I kind of just had a lot of stuff to do. So I was planning to move house, which you can probably see. We're in a different place now. So I had to pack the house. It was Christmas, there was family stuff, friends, you know, you have a lot of things on. There's not much spare time in December, I find. So that kind of kept me away from making videos. Then by the time I got through December and New Year and whatnot, I kind of got sidetracked with other stuff, to be honest. I was still packing the house to move, which I ended up doing in February. And I was making a Forex trading algorithm that was taking a whole lot of time. And I was building a translator app that I wanted to try and test out the next time I went over to Philippines. So I spent a lot of time doing that. And realistically, all my spare time, because I have a normal job, but all my spare time outside of that was taken up with those sort of things. And I guess just a little bit of... it's a lot of work to get back into making videos, and I a bit of couldn't be bothered, I guess. But I've just gone again, and I've just gotten back again a couple of days ago. So it's now, well, it's the end of March now, and I'm still doing the trading algorithm stuff, which I'm still working on that, but it's about ready to go, or it's going. And I'm still building the translator app, it's working pretty well. It can translate any language from any language into any other language. All done through an online AI thing, and it's good, but it's got a whole heap of problems still. It's good for work for me, considering I had no idea what I was doing, but it's getting there. I hope that eventually it'll end up being something that we can use to translate any languages. That would be sweet. So I'm still working on that and still doing, you know, my trading, and I've got a life to live and other things are going on in my life as well. So I'm not going to be spending as many hours making videos. But I do want to get through those videos for the last trip and this most recent trip as well, because it's cool looking back on them, and I like that, and I feel like the other people that are involved in it kind of like being able to look on YouTube and see it as well. So I will keep doing it. It won't be every week anymore. So when I went over to the Philippines, basically, every time I've been overseas, really, for every other trip I've ever done, it's kind of been a case of I'm going there and then I'm going to go here and do this and here and do this and this waterfall and this beach and this place to eat and all these set things in my head that I wanted to do. Even if I didn't have like a itinerary of places fully planned out, I knew roughly what I wanted to do. And within that, it was a case of, when I was traveling in Cebu, for example, the first time, it was get on a motorbike, ride a lap of Cebu, and in that time, find all the cool waterfalls. Well, not all, because there's still more to visit, but find some cool waterfalls, find some cool beaches, find some cool places to go and good places to eat and people to meet. And that was kind of, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but no real plan around it, which is fine. And that's how I like to travel. And that's how I've traveled for every trip basically I've done. This most recent one, well, when I say most recent, the one in November, the plan was for Lynn and I to meet in Cebu. She was going to come across from Leyte, where her family is, and we'd meet in Cebu, stay there for a night or two, and then we were going to go to Dumaguete for a couple of nights, and no real plans, but we were going to see what we could find around that area, because I've never been to Negros, I've never been to Dumaguete. That would have been cool. It was kind of like a starting point to be able to see a little bit of Negros maybe, which will happen again one day, but it didn't end up happening was the point, because there was some rather large typhoons coming through the Philippines around that time, and we got some delays happening and whatnot, and our schedule got mixed up a little bit. So, but we did end up going to Siquijor and did a whole heap of things there, which I'll make videos about. We went back to Bohol, which Lynn had never been to and I had been to, so we make a whole heap of videos about that as well. Went to some of the same places again so I could show her, but that was fun. And we spent some time in Cebu, just in the city mainly, just chilling, hanging out with her friends or family members and things like that there, which was fun as well. This most recent trip was different. This trip for me was, I was going to basically fly in and then go straight to Leyte, but this trip was not to go and travel all around and visit all these places and see all this stuff. It was going to be, I'm coming here just to spend time with Lynn, hang out where she lives, hang out with her family, meet her family, her parents and her brothers and sisters and aunties and uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews, and it's a big family. They were all very nice, very friendly, had a great time, and they were real really welcoming, and most of this trip was really about just hanging out with them, getting to know everyone there, and living a life over there for 3 or 4 weeks and enjoying it. So I don't have a lot of footage is what I'm saying. So this video, maybe 1 or 2 videos, is going to be about, I'm going to skip forwards to this most recent trip, and I'm going to try and make a video or 2 about that over the next week or 2. After that, at some point, I'll go back and do like the very last bit of the last place we went to back in May of last year, and then all my stuff through the November trip as well. But yeah, this trip, it was awesome, actually. It was really nothing special if you're talking about what just a normal life is. So it was literally just like, we'd get up in the morning, we'd go for a walk around the local area. We were staying in Ormoc, which is one of the cities in, not the biggest city, but I'd say it's probably the 2nd biggest city in Leyte. So we were staying kind of on the outskirts of that, still sort of right on the edge of town. So we'd get up and have a walk around the estate sort of that we were in, and sometimes we'd go find some bread from a local bakery and eat that while we were walking, and then maybe we'd come home and cook some breakfast, or we'd go up to a local karandaria and just eat karandaria food for breakfast together and just sort of hang out. Some days we'd just go to the mall and walk around, or, you know, if we needed some shopping that we had to do, we'd go do that. So that was cool, but yeah, that was the sort of thing we did. That sort of stuff every day. We'd hang out with the family. There was a couple of birthdays that happened over the time that we were there for nieces and nephews and grandparents or aunties, and just, we went to that. We went and did that. We went and saw grandparents one day. We went to, like, just hanging out with family, basically. And it seemed like everywhere we went, the family was like, oh, here comes Sean for the first time. We're all going to welcome him. So there'd be a lot of food, and like everyone would sit around, and most people couldn't speak like a lot of English, or if they could, they were shy to speak it. And so more often than not, it'd end up being a few Red Horse, I should say, not Red Bull, some beers and a few other whatever else they wanted to drink. Sometimes tuva, which is like that coconut wine. And after a few drinks, that might help to loosen up their English a little bit, and then we could chat in English and slowly get to be more comfortable with each other. And I spent a lot of time listening to them all talk Visayan around me, and I feel like I've gone from 1% understanding to maybe 10% understanding over that time. I'm still very shy to talk it because I feel like an idiot, but I think I understand a lot more, which it's been good. So yeah, like one day we were at her grandma's for a lunch. Another day pretty much every day we were at her direct families, and we'd just hang out there and, you know, watch the sunset from the balcony, or over the rice fields, and, you know, there's a lot of sugarcane fields and cornfields there. We might go for a walk around towards the base of the mountains there and back, and yeah, it was very relaxed. It was a cool place to be. And I know we didn't do much really. It was mostly just hanging out and eating, or just hanging out and chatting, or hanging out and having the odd drink here and there. And I'll be honest, I try not to drink too much anymore. So I probably drank more there than I have in the last 6 months, I would say. But even then, I was forcibly saying no to drinks most of the time. And not that I got drunk, but one occasion where the whole family did like a sort of surprise thing for me, where they were like, oh, we'll all, we're going to hire out this whole little resort sort of place. And when I say resort, it's not like a resort in Australia. It's like a resort there. It can be like one in Australia, but the ones they have there that we went to, the local ones, they're usually like a decent sized swimming pool, or maybe 2 or 3 with a little water slide going into it, and then a whole heap of like little cabana things around it, or little huts around them that normally you go and you pay, I don't know, 30 pesos and you get entry, and that gives you can get entry and go into the pool and whatnot. Maybe you have to spend, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 peso or something for a day to have the cabana thing for yourself for the whole day. But we went to one which was near to where they all live, and hired the whole place for that. So it was just her family for the day, and there would have been, I don't know, 50 or 60 people there, I guess. And that day I was constantly have a drink. So I tried my best to hold off, but I ended up having more than I had planned to. Not that I was drunk, I wasn't, because it was over the course of a whole day. But they drink, I can't remember what it's like, not brandy, but something like that. And it's not like whiskey, but it's much like whiskey's maybe 40% alcohol or something like that. This is like a 22% alcohol. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Emperador is the name of it, but it's good. It's really pretty nice, and not as strong as whiskey. So it was quite a lot not quite a lot, but a decent amount of that day. And yeah, just chatting with people and swimming, and we went for a swim in the ocean a few times. And the other thing they did on that particular day was, I think it was her uncle gave 2 pigs to the family for it. And so like the night before, we were at Lynn's family's house, and literally it was a case of just end the pig there and pouring boiling water over it and scraping with a knife you scrape the skin with a knife and it takes all the hair off of it, and then they had a big table outside, and just outside the house, and like had the whole pig on there, and there's her uncles and brothers and dad and everyone are out there while they're cutting it up and using, you know, the stomach for sausages and other stuff for this and other stuff for that, and chopping it all up. And so we ate, like literally ate some of that pork that night. It was just about the best pork I've ever eaten, I think. It's very nice when it's so fresh like that. So one was butchered for that, and I feel like that got split amongst like 5 or 6 families, and it was going to be just like enough meat for the next month or 2 months or something. I don't know. It was a big pig, and it was a lot of meat. I'll put a video, some of that on the video here anyway for you to have a look at. But the second one, they you know, after they killed it and took the stomach and everything out of it, I don't know if you've seen, I mean, if you're from the Philippines, you'll have seen this, but they made lechon with it, which is basically, for everyone that's not from the Philippines, it's like a spit roast pig over coals, and they put a big bamboo stick through its mouth and all the way down through it, and out the butt, and basically manually rotate it for the whole, I don't know, I'm guessing it was like a 12 hours or something like that for cooking it. And the skin, it goes really crisp. It's not like crackling in Australia, or if you've had that other places around the world. It's just smooth skin, but they just cook it over these coals until it becomes like one long, big, huge piece of hard, crispy, crackly type stuff. It's different to crackling, but it is delicious. And the meat from that that pig is amazing as well. Just some of the tenderest I've ever had. And I mean, pigs are bloody expensive. So that was like giving that, and then and sort of, you know, bringing that in as part of a sort of a welcome thing was awesome. I couldn't thank them enough, I guess. And then everyone made stuff and brought stuff and contributed in their own way. You know, there was like, I don't know, 8 different dishes of like chicken and pork and lumpia, which is kind of like spring rolls for those that don't know what lumpia is. And there was it was a lot of food, let's just say that. There was more food than we could get through, I reckon. And then, yeah, as I said, lots of drinking and karaoke. I didn't do karaoke. That being said, there was a lot of karaoke over the whole trip, a lot of drinking over the whole trip, and a lot of just sitting around talking with everyone and getting to know everyone over the trip, and it was good. It was real good. That's kind of it. I will probably end it there. Thank you for watching. Hopefully there'll be some more videos coming out in the somewhat soon future of the other trips we've done. And then somewhere in the future, there'll be more videos coming out again, because I'm planning to go back in August, I guess. All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Catch you later.